Alright, now we're in the Madhouse, and the first thing you're going to want to do is hold right to get out of the chair. Right after Jack closes the door in the cutscene, just be holding right, you'll get out no problem. Something important to note, as you are standing up, you want to be looking to the right, so that when you mash F and hold forward, you will open the door on the right and not the door on the left. Otherwise, you'll open the door on the left and get stuck on the door on the right. Okay, so as you're standing up, make sure you're looking to the right at this door and holding forward and mashing F. You'll open this one, which will be good. Now you want to open that one too as you run by it, because we're going to be closing it later. So it's going to be important to have it already open. So now the hallway. In the hallway, Jack, there are exactly 3 things he can do as his opening move, okay? Best possible thing is if he lunges at you. If he just does a lunge at you and you are running in a straight line, he will miss every single time. 100% of the time, he misses you, you just get a free key grab, and then, so the main objective here is to grab the key and click on the door. If you don't click on the door, then the cop won't spawn efficiently. So we grab the key, click on the door, then run back to the hatch over there and get in. Okay. Oh, also it's important to note, I left the game and reloaded, so my cursor was off. But if you are doing this continuously, your cursor should be right here, which is where the key is going to be. So the three outcomes are he lunges, he swings at you, or he throws you. Okay, and if he throws you, there's nothing you can do about it. It's the worst possible thing. It's just time loss, but it happens. And then you got to be a little more on the fly. You definitely have to practice it. And eventually you'll get to the point where you start learning what he probably will do. There's a few nuances to it, such as after you run by and tap on the door, you're going to want to be, he's going to be swinging at you, and you're going to crouch to avoid it. And sometimes he misses, sometimes he hits you when you crouch. Right, and stuff like that. But after you pass him, there is a small chance of him doing a third hit where he does a big overhead swing. Okay, if you have just started to get past him and you hear him doing that attack, you're going to want to turn and block it. Okay, if you don't, it's just going to hit you. It's like so weird. So just imagine this corner. Imagine the door is right there. I just tapped on the door and I'm running back. I crouched, dodged Jack, whatever. And then started running by, and Jack's like right here, and I'm right here, right? I hear Jack's doing the wind-up. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be way over here. I'm going to totally dodge it. Okay, you're not. You're just not. Because it's going to be ridiculous, but you're going to get knocked to the ground. You're going to literally see Jack, like, all the way back there against this piece of wood right here. You're going to see him so far away, it's not even funny, but it still will hit you, because it's just weird. Okay, so if you are even remotely close to him, and you hear the third attack wind-up, just block it. Okay, it's just going to save you some headache. Okay, so we're just going to do it a few times, maybe, who knows. Whatever happens, happens. Sometimes RNG can be so bad, it's just like GG. So that was the hit. The most optimal way of dealing with the hit is you grab it as he's hitting you. Okay, so he threw me, which is actually fine. So I saw he wasn't doing an overhand, so we were good. We just keep running, he's going to be behind me. Hopefully I can get inside before he gets to me, which is just like that. And now we're recovering the leg cutoff sequence.
Came to the wrong house, boy.
So we're going to see it in real time, and then I'm going to explain it. Okay. So basically, when you get to the hatch and are putting the key in, on Madhouse, this happens almost every time on Madhouse. It doesn't happen every time, but almost every time, Jack is way too close to you, and the game will do the leg cutting out sequence. If you put the key in the hatch, and then proceed to have Jack too close to you, the game will just teleport Jack to right here, and he will take a swing at you and cut your leg off. However, if you are already crouched and looking at him, he will just miss. Okay? The game will force you to stand still and get hit by Jack and get your leg cut off, but if you're crouching and already looking at him, he will miss, and then the game will let you move again, and it will be past it, like the game will delete the leg cutting off phase. We're like, alright, we cut off his leg, we're good now, even though you didn't. Even though the game did not cut off your leg, okay? So when you're running up here, you're going to be, boom, put the key in, turn to look at where Jack's going to be, you picked the wrong house, right? Big smoke appears behind you, and you're going to realize you can't move at all, and he takes a swing at you, he's going to miss, and then you want to look away from him so that he turns you around. Okay, if you are not looking away from him, after that first initial leg cutting off swing misses, if you're looking directly at him, he is programmed to throw you away from the hatch. Okay? So if you nail the first part, key, look at him, don't get your leg cut off, but then don't look away from him, instead stay looking at him as this hatch is opening. He will throw you away from the hatch back to like here, and then the hatch will close. Okay, you have to first look at him so that he doesn't cut off your leg, okay, and then look away from him so that he spins you rather than grabs you and throws you away. He only spins you, okay? So the full process is key, look at him, misses. Oh, you don't have to stand, sorry. Crouch, key, look at him, swing and a miss, look away from him, spin, you get spun, and when you get spun, you will automatically be standing up, by the way. And then after he spins you, just crouch after, you will dodge the swing again, and then you're going to turn, grab the neuro rounds, and grab the separating agent, and then go in. Note, it's significantly more important for you to grab the neuro rounds rather than the separating agent, because after you go into the hatch, as you actually saw me do just now, because that happens sometimes, you can grab the separating agent from already inside the hatch. Okay, so let's do it all in one fell swoop again. Close this door for continuity's sake. Open this door, not the other door. Open that door, and let's see what we get this time. Okay, that was the lunge, which is the best RNG. You notice he just completely misses you. Tap the door. Okay, that was good RNG, so now we just run by him. And he did a third swing. So if you hear that, there's a good chance you're going to be able to get by into this door without him even grabbing you. And there's even a chance he won't even teleport to you, also. Like that. So that's a rare scenario where he does the third hit. Okay, so there's that.
Have fun in there, boy.
But I want to get a real scenario. So, well, that is a real scenario, but it doesn't happen too often. So hopefully I don't get God tier RNG multiple times in a row. Let's see. Okay, that's the good RNG of the three. Tap the door. Now he's going to be behind me. He's probably going to spin me here. Like that. Okay, so now... Okay, well that was weird. I was about to say... He can either grab or do that. If he swings, just back up. If he grabs, you have to block. Okay, here we go. Look at him. Look away from him. Get spun. Then crouch. Grab that, and then that. But if you don't grab the separating agent, just look up and actually just grab it. Mash F, and you will grab it by looking up like this. Okay? You can grab the separating agent from under. Whatever you call this place. I'm not sure if I'd call it a basement. It's like a crawl space. Whatever. Note, if your FPS is high enough and you like look at the ground or something, you get something called phone skip, also known as cheater skip, and it saves like 2 seconds. You see I did not get it there, but knock yourself out. And if you grab the map like me, that's bad.
Good, Ethan.
But don't friends.
Fuck are
Shut up and listen if you want to stay alive.
Alrighty.
You gotta get out of that house. There might be a way out through the main hall.
So,
Alright.
Oh, and that
any
thing
other
on your
watch
wrist
is
the codex.
important.
Don't lose it. It's important.
Important. Anyways, as far as heals go and stuff, you're probably going to want to make a save here to practice the Jack 1 fight. It's not a very difficult fight, but there's one very big nuance to it. There is a chem here, but I literally never grab it. Even when I was first starting out, I never grabbed it, because I would just immediately turn around, boom, boom, like that. Grab that herb. And now for this part, the flags for causing the cop to spawn is touching that door over there, which we already did, and then kind of sort of going that way, right? And the game considers you going that way if you tap that corner. So the main objective right now is to grab the coin, but we first will also make the cop spawn. If you really don't want to deal with getting it precise, you can just run that way for a little bit until the cop spawns, but if you want to do it, the pro way, you just tap that corner. Okay? Brush the corner as you run by, and you will see the cop spawn. Okay, so notice how there's like no light there. You'll notice the light appear. Flashlight. Like that. You might have noticed it. So now there's a coin right here. We're going to need it. Try to grab it fast. You can probably do it better than me.
Hey, over here.
And now we're going to get a trusty pocket knife.
Hey, you gotta help me. Hold on, back up.
Alright. Great opportunity to... here, let me mute their voices real quick. Great opportunity to explain the Jack 1 fight. Okay, so there's one important thing to note about Sarah D is that Jack does an extra animation normally where he beats on the cop with a shovel. But this does not happen in Sarah D. In Sarah D, Jack immediately snaps the shovel on his leg, pulls out the axe, and is ready to go. So if you are not on Sarah D, you will see a very different start to the fight than me. Okay? But it's not really that complicated. Okay? So the goal is to grab the lockpick, grab the heel, then use the lockpick and grab the key, get in the car, get out of the car, make Jack get in the car. Okay? So we're going to do that. In fact, I'll make a save before just so I can do it over and over again. I'll cut the duct tape first. Oh, I forgot to mention, don't make a save until after you've cut the duct tape to save yourself some time. Yeah. So now we have a trusty pocket knife, and it's all we're going to get. We're going to cut the tape, and then we're going to make a save just to show you the efficiency of making saves. Wow, he multi-hit us. I just realized Jack multi-hit us with that hit he got on us, I think. Didn't he? I think he did. No reason to actually open it before we make the save, because the door will reclose itself. We're going to make our save, and now we're going to go over the nuances of the Jack 1 fight. Basically, there's one big thing that you gotta get used to. Okay, so if you don't save, your inventory is going to be here. If you do save, it's already going to be in the right spot, but take note of that. Just keep that in mind. If you don't, let's just assume we don't save, just to know. So we're going to, I pick up the gun, but I think it's actually faster to not pick up the gun, but I pick up the gun on the way. But pick up the gun, switch back to the knife by pressing 1. Then we're going to grab the lockpick, which is going to go right here, and then we're going to grab a heel, which is going to go right here, so it's irrelevant, right? So pick up the lockpick, it's going to be right here, but your cursor's right here, right? So when you finally have to use the lockpick, the input's going to be F to bring up the thing, to bring up the use a lockpick menu, and then down to go down to the lockpick, and then F again. If you made a save, though, your cursor will already be here, so the input's just going to be mash F, okay? And if you want to, before you start the fight, just move your cursor down here so that you don't have to worry about the F down F. But it's really not that bad. Okay? After we get the key, we're going to get in the car and try to get out before Jack throws us out, but on Madhouse it's very difficult to do that, so don't sweat it. If Jack throws us out, then there's a chance of Jack, like, just standing there instead of immediately getting back in the car and it loses time. But odds are he's going to get right back in the car and it'll be fine. Okay? The dangerous thing is, okay, so it's actually very simple. Once he starts getting in the car, just start slashing him, and he's going to drive in circles. Just keep your reticle trained on him. I mean, knife doesn't have a reticle, but keep it trained on him and just keep slicing away. I like crouching into him and slicing when I can, but it's kind of whatever. But the most important thing is Jack can do something where he pulls out in the opposite direction after he crashes and auto-kills you. So yeah, that is the most important thing that we need to talk about. So we're just going to do a fight, and then I'll restart again. I'll intentionally do it completely wrong just to show you how messed up it is if he gives you the bad RNG. I'll see. I turn out the voices. So yeah, it's a little awkward. Basically, when Jack is driving... when he's basically doing donuts and you're slicing him, and then he eventually runs forward and crashes. When he does crash, he can decide to pull out in a direction that completely screws you over. Switch back to the knife, open that, grab the heel. Now in Sarah D, he will always do this, and then he will do a third swing, but F down F, and then he'll always miss you. I stand right here. Get in the car. And hopefully Jack doesn't pull you out, but it happens almost every time. Oh, but we did not happen this time. So if you get out, he always instantly gets in. Now, I like crouching into him, but it's also important to be hitting his head because it deals more damage, so just do whatever works. So now you gotta look at his tires, okay? Look at his tires and see which way they turn. Okay, if they turn to the right, that means he's about to mess you up. If he turn left, then that's a standard fight. Let's see what he does this time. Okay, they went left, so it's a standard fight. Standard fight is very simple. You just keep slicing him until he dies. Like that. You notice his hands leave the steering wheel for a second, that means the fight ended. Okay, so now we have some menuing to do. We have to delete the key, make the heal. I like setting up my menu like this. Okay, but that's up to you. Then we stab him in the leg, and then we stab him in the crotch if we feel like it. That's kind of risky to stab him in the crotch, so you don't actually have to do that. And that is Jack 1. One more thing left in the fight itself is that this cutscene on the ladder can be difficult to trigger. I've noticed that if you kind of move, if you're like in front of the ladder and move to the right a little, it causes the cutscene a lot more reliably. Okay? But yeah, good luck with that. And so now, for the post-Jack stuff, two things. One, there's a coin to our left. You do not have to move towards it to pick it up. Just look to the left and mash F, and you will get it every time. Okay, now this is a standard. We press that, then that. And important, don't forget to pick up the bowl. I forgot the bowl so many times at first. It's disgusting, and it's very sad. Okay? And now there's also a fast fall you can get. I'm going to try to just precisely do it. I did not get it. It's very sad we don't get fast falls like that, but you know, it only loses like half a second, so who cares? So yeah, that is gonna call it. I suggest you make a save here just to practice the whole next sequence. Why not? Oh wait, I just remembered. I was going to show you what happens when everything goes wrong in the Jack fight, because nothing went wrong in that fight. Totally forgot that's what I was supposed to show you. Let's go do that right now. Very important that I show you this part, because you will get screwed over and over again when this happens, and yeah. So, let me explain. So, you saw me talking about the tires, right? If you see the tires go right, that means he's going to mess you up. But, there's two things to note, okay? It's not actually guaranteed death, but it's time loss regardless, but it's not guaranteed death, okay? If he fully pulls out to the right and is facing his car towards you. Basically, what's going on is you can only reliably slash him when he's doing donuts when Jack is on the inside of the donut, if that makes sense. Like, the car is doing rotations, donut rotations, and Jack is on the inside of the donut. Like, if the back of Ethan's car is the outside of is the ring of the donut Jack is doing, right? Jack will be on the inside of the donut. Jack will essentially be the center of the donut. Right? But if Jack is pulled out in the opposite direction, then he will be doing counterclockwise, well, no, he'll be doing clockwise donuts. And if he does clockwise donuts, then he will be on the outside of the donut, and then you can't reach him with your knife. Okay? And so the only thing you can do is hope that you bait him into a crash. If he is already fully pulled out to the right, the only thing you can do is hope you bait him into a crash. However, okay, when he first gets in the car and he's about to crash, you get a little bit more to the left than you might think you should be. Just get way over to the left, as you'll see me do. There's a good chance that when he does try to pull out to the right, if he does try to, he will weirdly crash at a weird angle and not actually fully pull out. Let's see it. Okay, so this is another variation where he just runs forward like that. It's actually hilarious when that happens. Alright, I'm gonna mash F, but it's very difficult to get out of the car in time. So like that. I was mashing F and I was not able to. I hold left here as you get up to get the left get up. I feel like he more reliably gets in the car right away when I do that, but that could just be complete nonsense. So he's about to crash right here, so I get a little more to the left, than I should. And he didn't give me the bad RNG again, but Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this until I get the bad RNG, just because I think it's so important for me to show you. And then that'll be the end of this video, and then we'll move on to the next part. If you feel like you can't be bothered and you're just going to save and spam fights until you don't get the bad RNG, then I guess don't bother. But the second you get the bad RNG, feel free to tune into this next part where we get the bad RNG. I think, if this is it. I can't get bad RNG for my life. I don't know what's going on. I've gotten it multiple times in a row before, and yet now the game is getting soft on me here. I don't know what to say. Attempt number, I've completely lost count. I swear this bad RNG exists. I don't know what to say. I should probably just be silent until I finally get it, but who knows. Man, this is awkward. This is extremely awkward. I really thought I would have gotten bad RNG by now, but maybe they patched it? Who knows? Okay, he's giving you really weird patterns now, too. I think resetting or something is making his patterns really weird. Who knows? Nice. Good. Immediately gets in when you do that. Finally. Okay, here, right here. So I didn't do it right, and he gives you bad RNG, he does this, and yep, okay. Your best bet is to just avoid him and hope he crashes fast, just like that. You still lose time regardless, but you just want to hope he crashes fast. That's your best bet. Okay? So that was the best possible RNG given you get the initial bad RNG. Sometimes you will get shafted so hard, he will drive around for like a minute and never crash. It's actually absurd. And just because he crashes doesn't mean he has to go back to the normal pattern. Alright. So, finally we got an instance of the bad RNG. That's it right there. Just avoid, stay on the... Pretend like Jack is on the passenger side, and do the same thing you did before, except now you can't actually hit him. Which does suck. But yeah. You can't actually hit him, but you won't die. If you try to hit him when he does that, you will die every time. Get your best bet, stay on the passenger side, and hope he crashes right away. Okay, it might be related to where you stand, but I haven't really found anything consistent yet. I've just kind of hoped he crashes, and sometimes he literally drives around for an extremely long time without crashing, and then even more times after that, I've had him crash like 3 times in a row without ever crashing in a way that makes him drive in the standard way. Like, I've gotten some pretty insane RNG before there. So you just have to be prepared for that. So now you see it, and now we can move on. Okay? So now I suggest you run over here, make a save if you want, but it's not a huge deal to make a save here, though it is good to practice. And yeah, moving on is going to be main house, the rest of the main house. Yep.
What am I gonna do with a fucking pocket knife?
Well, that's special.